for joining us again on the Real Estate Drive-Thru. We're your hosts, Ryan and Shubha, and we're here to answer all your real estate questions in under 3 minutes or it's free.
Thanks, Shubha. Today's question comes from Jacob and Jeanette, and they were thinking about buying a cottage.
Buy a cottage? What perfect timing. Look at the great weather we got outside. You know what, Ryan? Why don't we get out of the office and head down to the lake?
See you there.
Voila, here we are.
So now we can answer your question about the cottage. So now you're talking about, they're asking about financing, and why don't you talk about financing cottages?
Oh, definitely. One of the first and foremost things to remember when financing a cottage is that it's going to be a second home or an investment property, meaning you're going to have to put 20% down at a minimum.
So now, say someone buys a recreational product, maybe some trailer or just a lot on the water. Is there going to be different regulations on that as well?
When we're talking about financing a lot or a trailer, the mortgages are different. They aren't conventionally done by the banks and by standard lenders. So we're probably looking at some kind of alternative resources, in which case you're going to have to come up with more of a down payment. In some cases, you're probably looking at about 50% down payment or equity to be able to finance a lot.
So maybe cheaper to purchase up front, or purchase in the long run, but up front it's going to cost you a little more.
It's going to cost you a little bit more up front. Another thing to keep in mind when financing a cottage is that we're going to have to look at the property itself and how seasonal it is, how seasonal the access is. Do you have access to the by road in the winter time? Is the cottage itself winterized? Another thing to keep in mind is, what are your purposes? Like, what are you going to use that cottage for? Is it strictly a summer home, or are you going to be using it in the winter as well to go ice fishing and skiing and all those great things? So there's a lot of things just to keep in mind when we're talking about financing a cottage that might differ from that of buying a home in the city.
Yeah, so speaking of uses, one of the important things when you're looking to buy a cottage is know the uses, know what you're going to want to use it for. Are you buying a cottage because you love fishing? So if you are, make sure you find a place that's got great fishing. No sense in buying a place on a water with no fish. If you're looking for water skiing or boating, make sure you got a place with a lot of water access. If you're looking for year-round access, so sometimes a lot of people will buy them for skidooing in the wintertime, make sure you get a great place. Also, the location is really important. So a lot of people want to buy in the Muskokas, but the cost is very high. Because so many people go there, they're coming from Toronto and they're going north and they're heading up to go to the cottage, they can really drive the prices up. But long term, it can still be a great investment, but it's really expensive up front. So what a lot of people are doing is moving a little more east maybe. Sometimes they'll go to Bancroft or north of Peterborough, around those areas. You're getting smaller lakes, a lot more private and a lot more affordable for your dollar. So if you are looking for a cottage, figure out what your budget is, find out what you want, and then start looking around that area, because there are a lot of lakes out there, a lot of cottages out there that you can buy, but you got to know what you want.
Beautiful stuff in Ontario. And as you can see, a cottage is going to be a great investment because, well, why would you not want to wake up to this every morning? So if you have any questions about purchasing a cottage, please feel free to give Ryan and myself a call. We'll be happy to show you the right things, or what you should be looking for and what you should be doing.
And don't forget to invite us up there.
Hope that answers your question. Thanks for joining us again on the Real Estate Drive.
See you next time.